I'm just going to start with, let's get one thing straight and two things gay.
Okay. What is the gay thing?
Big Daddy Addy.
Oh, yeah, I am the gay thing.
If you guys haven't met Addison.
Hi, I'm Addison, a.k.a. Big Daddy Addy, on all social media, pretty much.
Yeah, the official Addison, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is my friend. How did we meet? TikTok, really.
It wasn't a dating app.
It wasn't a dating app.
No, for sure.
It wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we met on TikTok, I think. And we just have so much in common. We're like kindred spirits.
We are.
Yeah.
A little crazy at heart.
A little crazy.
I'm okay with that, though.
I'm okay.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about you.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Do you listen to any podcasts?
Okay. Yeah, I listen to I've Had It. I listen to the I've Had It podcast. If you haven't heard that, it's like the two middle-aged white women.
Yes.
And they just complain about everything. And I think that's great.
Their first TikTok I saw, they were complaining about something I do, and I was like, no, I do that,
agree.
but I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
They're hilarious.
Yeah, I complain. I'm a hypocrite too. I complain about things I do all the time.
Yeah. All the time.
And then the other one I listen to is My Favorite Murder.
Okay.
And it's just like a true crime podcast, but it's kind of lighter. Mm-hmm. And they kind of keep it light, funny, simple, so it doesn't make you like, I don't know, like sometimes like when you're at like 3 a.m. and you're watching like Investigation Discovery, it gets a little creepy.
Yes.
And like every little like, I'll like hear my ice maker go off and I'll be like, Satan, is that you?
I always think there's something creepy in the room with me.
Right. So I need something lighter.
Yeah.
So that I'm not paranoid.
Right.
Right.
Speaking of creepy in the room, have you ever had a patient see something or tell you that someone's in the room that is not there?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I think that's one thing I hate about our job.
I start swinging. Just to make sure. Just to make sure.
Absolutely. Just in case you accidentally hit that ball of energy they're talking about.
I'm like, they'll be like, there's ants climbing on the wall behind me. There's ants on the wall, and I'm like, there's no ants. Like you're fine. You're in the hospital. I've got you. And then I'm like on the wall,
ants.
on the wall,
ants.
like just to make sure.
Yeah, just in case.
I'm like, I'm not letting these. Like,
I go along with their antics.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't help the patient, so then I won't. But if it does,
yeah, like if it's a sweet patient,
yes,
and they say that like someone's in the room like talking about them, immediately I'm like, I'm ready to fight.
Absolutely.
Ready to fight.
Absolutely. That is one thing I will always do is fight for my patients.
Tell me where to swing, Juanita.
Juanita. Wait, so you were telling me something in the car. I don't think we told them though. He is an ICU nurse.
I am.
We are both nurses.
Yes.
We just kind of jumped into it.
And you're ICU too.
I'm ICU too.
We both jumped in.
We're
First. Idiots.
Okay, we're idiots, but I was floated the other day. I'm in Kansas right now. And it's all right. But I was floated to med-surg in Kansas, and that is not all right.
Right. No.
I had 6 patients.
I wouldn't want to float to med-surg.
Ever.
Really ever, but...
Especially in the Midwest or South.
Yeah, in Kansas. Sorry, Dorothy, but like...
It was not okay.
Yeah.
And I had a talk with the nurses there. I was like, how do you do this every day? Because if that was my only option for nursing, I wouldn't be a fucking nurse.
Right.
I literally wouldn't.
It's definitely a lot more people skills.
Oh my God.
Than I realize.
Yeah.
And you don't realize as a nurse, like I can care for someone. Like I can keep them alive.
100%.
Like sometimes it is a lot of like responsibility. As a 26-year-old, it's a lot of responsibility to like keep someone alive. But at least like in the ICU, you don't have to talk to them.
That's my favorite part. Kindly.
Because
that's the way I can think best.
I can care for you the best if I don't have to talk to you and can assume that you are like Mother Teresa.
Literally.
Like I'm like, I am saving like the next Bill Gates right now.
Absolutely. Because I need that confidence while I'm taking care of
right. I'm delusional
100%
with that. And I think that that's what makes a great nurse is like you being delusional, thinking you are like, if I save this person, I'm not going to personally cure cancer, but this person could. And it's all going to be because of me.
Literally. Also, speaking of being delusional, We are actresses. We are waitresses, waiters.
Yes.
Beyond nursing.
Right.
Where we have we juggle things.
Mm-hmm.
So the other day I had a patient. I won't go into too many details.
We're also sanitation workers.
We are doing it all.
Yes.
Also dietitians.
And IT.
I know we have dietitians
The list
there,
is endless.
but I feel like it is endless.
Yeah.
And the last patient I had, they loved me a lot.
I'm sure.
They think
did.
I loved them because I'm such a great actress.
I'm sure
and so it made me think the way that we get patients to love us is by mirroring their personality. Mirroring.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's why nurses make the greatest spouses and in relationships is because we know how to talk to people.
100%.
And 9 times out of 10 you have to talk to them like they're a toddler. And so whenever you go on dates and things like that, you mimic them.
Literally.
You make them feel safe. You make them feel heard.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, but this is what we're gonna do. This
yes.
is,
This
and
is how
and
we
then they're
do
just
this.
okay.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so back on podcasts, I'm currently obsessed with 2 hot takes.
Okay.
These
I've heard of it.
Yes. So at first I just thought they were on TikTok, and they're not. They have a podcast, they have a YouTube, they have all the things. But I was listening to one on the way here, and it really sparked my interest because I was like, what? So she typically does Am I the Asshole?
Okay.
Reddit post. This was not an Am I the Asshole Reddit post, but it was a strange Reddit post. And it was just saying there was this middle-aged man who's living at home. I might butcher it a little bit, but you can listen to it on hers. Living at home. Do you like coconuts?
No.
No,
I don't.
You're really not going to like them after this.
Okay.
That's
I'm
all
scared.
I have to say.
I'm scared. Is it going where I think it's going?
Probably.
I'm excited. I'm scared, but excited.
I was excited for him because I'm not going to kink shame. Whatever you want to do that sexually pleases you, as long as there's consent.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine. But this was just consent from the coconut. So
oh my God. What did he do?
He lives at home with his mother, and he doesn't bring people home. It's kind of clear he probably can't get people if he's using a coconut in this manner. He drilled a hole in the coconut. And he was having sex with the coconut. One coconut.
Okay, I'm not condoning what he did.
No.
I'm not condoning what he did. I'm not judging either.
I'm really not.
But
it's just
I will say,
UTI.
as people, I know people use coconut oil,
right,
to do things with. So maybe that was a shortcut. Maybe he didn't have, he couldn't go to Walmart and get the coconut oil, so he just had a coconut. So he was like, I wonder if this feels. I
maybe. Guess so. He said that the fleshy part. He said it was the best sex he's ever had. When he finally drilled the hole, that it was a comfortable size. He said that the inside felt pleasurable. And so I'm just okay, I don't know how, because I think the inside's hard. It's not squishy.
Right.
But that's besides the point, because he keeps his coconut under his bed. He goes in the coconut. He ends up having to use butter to lube it up in the coconut. Ejaculates in the coconut. Never drains the coconut. It's disgusting. So eventually, I don't know how long. Eventually, he starts seeing flies in his room, and he's like, weird. I don't know where they're coming from. My room's clean. He goes to use the coconut and feels creepy crawlers on his dick.
There's probably maggots in there.
Pulled it out with thousands of maggots in there, and some were trying to go up his urethra. Trigger warning. Probably should have said that earlier.
Okay, so I'm not going to say anything negative about that because it's Pride Month currently.
Okay.
However, there's some kind of relationships that I just don't condone.
And I would say a coconut is one of them.
That's where we draw the line. We draw the line there.
If you were to throw away the coconut and get a new coconut even.
Why? Yeah.
Why you keep the same old coconut?
Why were we attached to this one particular coconut?
One coconut.
Now, what I'm curious, now my curiosity is piqued.
Okay.
Did he try to dress up the coconut? Was it decorated? Did it have googly eyes on it? There's so many questions I have before I can properly judge this
Right.
man for what he did.
And to be fair, I don't know, but I think it would have been better if it did have googly eyes.
I think me too. I
just am saying, at least it would look like something.
I'm the same way. So do you have any personal, so I know you said you heard that on a podcast. Do you have any personal stories of anything?
Me with a coconut.
No, of anything like sexual like that you've, of course, we're not breaking HIPAA, hypothetically. Have you
I have a sexual
encountered
story.
anything like that while you're in the hospital?
Yes.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, so this was before I was a nurse. I was a sitter for a patient.
Mm-hmm.
She had a lot of psych issues.
Okay. And this is all hypothetical, by the way.
It's all hypothetical.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You know those people that eat things, random things?
I'm one of those people.
Okay.
I'm people.
You like to eat random things.
I like to eat things that I shouldn't. Okay. For sure.
So that's what she liked to do. That's why she was in the hospital, hypothetically. Mm-hmm. And I had to watch her. Her spouse came in one day, and they were cuddling in bed. And, like, I was also really young.
First of all, what is it with the spouses in the bed?
Why?
There shouldn't be anybody in that hospital. I don't even want to be in that hospital bed. You shouldn't want to be in that hospital bed.
Do you know what happens in those beds?
And I would not invite somebody
Never
into that bed. You know what that says to me? What? It says to me, at home, bunk beds. They're so happy to have a bed to themselves. But they're like, hop up in here, baby.
It was so bad. It was so bad. I didn't have the balls or the courage to say anything to them. Because I was like, this is awkward. I'm just going to pretend I'm in the corner. I'm watching her. She's not eating anything she shouldn't.
And you were in the room.
I was in the room.
Wow.
Well, moaning starts to happen. And I'm like, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah. How old were you?
20.
Okay, at least you... Okay.
I'm an adult.
Okay, great.
But I'm not an adult with courage.
They get like a... Not a thumbs up, but they don't get a thumbs down.
Right.
You know?
Not a child in the room.
Right. That would be inappropriate.
Right. So moaning is happening and I'm trying to ignore what's happening, but then they start getting physical in the bed. Like I'm seeing things bounce in the bed and I'm like, I gotta call somebody.
Wow.
I don't know what to say.
Right.
Well, I called the charge nurse. She comes in. He finally gets off of her and he was trying to artificially inseminate her with a condom he brought in that already had swimmers in it.
And she was, and the woman, the patient was a woman.
Yes.
She was conscious?
Yes.
Okay, great.
And she wanted kids.
Thank God.
Thank God. She told us that she was trying to get pregnant.
So then why the need to artificially...
If you're going to be doing it in the bed in the first place, because you're doing something in the bed with moaning, why bring in the condom?
Right.
That's the strangest interaction I've had.
Yeah. Wow.
I didn't like it.
Yikes.
But yeah, I still went to nursing school, so.
Okay, so I got a story for you.
Okay, tell me.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So, okay, well, I've got a couple. Okay. I think, okay, so the most amazing thing that I've seen is a guy came in to the ER. I was doing clinicals. This was back in like nursing school. A guy came into the ER and this was when, I mean, I can be kinky.
Okay.
But I'm not one to like need like toys or anything like that. Okay. So the whole like the appeal to that doesn't, like, I don't understand it, but I'm like, you do you, boo. This guy comes in with a cock ring. I don't know how the appropriate way to say that.
I think it's just called a cock ring.
Yeah. So, okay. Okay. Let me rephrase that just in case this needs to get edited. This guy had a ring that was not on his finger. Okay. So this guy comes in, but it was made out of metal.
Oh no.
Okay. And if anybody here, you've heard it here first, if nobody's ever told you this, when guys go into like congestive heart failure or they have any kind of like swelling or third spacing, if you don't know what any of these terms mean, just Google them. But anytime something swells or like guys start to swell, the first thing that normally swells are the testicles.
Yeah.
So this guy comes in wearing metal cock ring. Okay. His partner is also there, hysterical, crying, like I'm just like and just like, oh no. And like we're trying to like save this man's life. And then he like mentions that his husband is wearing that.
Okay.
We didn't know that initially.
Okay.
So then it's like we're trying to save his life, but then have to get the jaws of life.
Ooh.
From
the ring.
Paramedics and stuff to get the ring off.
Oh no.
And if that ever like that, I think it's since then that's why I just like don't use like sex toys or like I'm so like cautious with things because I'm like I never want to be in that situation. No. And like first of all, why was it made out of metal?
Why?
And then why was there not a way to like easily open it? I don't know. But the effort that went in, like I don't think like I don't even know how to word this, but I've never seen that many people just like crowded around someone's junk.
Yeah.
Not like in a pleasureful way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this was like, so, okay. So the story ends by one brave nurse going in and is like, we just got to lube it up. And we just got to try to get like, just like pull the skin.
Oh my.
And so like, I'm like trying to pull the skin.
Is he
and
screaming?
Finally, once I like was able to pop like one nut through the thing, I shit you not, cock ring flying in the air. Goes flying in the air. It hit the like, you know, the like at the dentist, like the lights, like the headlights, how they have, or like the look in, you know how they have those in like the operating room.
Yes,
that was also in the ER, and it hit that thing, and then like it like went around the, and like we were like, where'd it go? So most dramatic, like amazing story.
It is a great story.
You
saved his nuts.
We say it was nuts, man. I would tell you.
It was nuts.
But yeah, that was like the amazing story. Okay, and then what I want to get into though is when it comes to like sexual things.
Yeah.
It's not that like I'm a prude.
Right.
I get that it happens in the hospital. Like I get that it happens. What bothers me is when people feel the need to lie and say like, oh, that's my son, or like that's my cousin or something like that, to like so that because they feel the need, like in order for them to go visit, especially in the ICU whenever the people are unconscious, they think like in order for them to be able to visit the person, they have to be family. So they make up a relation.
Yes.
And then it's very confusing when a couple of hours later, I find that family member's leg, or I mean hand, like going up their, like the person's gown. Yeah, like, or like doing something weird. Like,
are
you know,
from Arkansas?
And I'm like, okay. I thought you were the mom.
Right.
Can you please not mess with his catheter? Please. Like, can you please? Like, that's inappropriate. Please. There's so many questions.
I thought you were going down the road of like lying. I slipped and fell. I thought you were going down that road.
No. Well, like, lying to okay. First of all, we've seen it all.
Yes,
we've heard it all. Don't lie to us.
Care.
We can help you.
Yes.
I've helped patients lie.
Yes.
Like I've had so many guys that have been like, I cheated on my wife and I don't want her to know. Can you please make sure you don't say any? And I mean, I don't agree with that. That's not my business. I'm like, thank you for telling me.
Right.
Because that's some tea. That's some tea. But then like at least I know how to conduct myself and not 100%. To just like bust in the room when your wife's in there and be like, so it's gonorrhea.
Right.
Like
right.
Like,
no,
you know,
100%.
Yeah. So we're gonna reevaluate
100%
that. But no, like I just like don't lie.
Right.
But especially just don't lie about like your like if you're related to them. If you're the girlfriend, I would say, or if you're the girlfriend or the boyfriend or the significant other, just say that. Or lie and say, if you're gonna lie, say you're the wife or the husband, even if you know aren't married.
Not some.
Don't say you're the mom or the sister.
Because then we're questioning your whole life.
Yeah, because when you start getting too affectionate, we're gonna be like, oh,
we're gonna have problems.
They're from Alabama.
Was it Alabama?
And I can say that because I worked in Alabama. So when that happened, it happened a lot there.
And so then you really are confused.
So
is this a cousin thing?
So it's highly suspicious.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I could see that.
Yeah.
How many
Cousins,
times?
what is it? It's like,
I feel like I know what you're about to say.
cousins by chance, lovers by choice.
Yes.
Or like, what is the thing?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah. You know.
Because, okay, when I was in middle school, I had a band teacher. This was the rumor in the school, was that he was married to his second cousin.
Mm-hmm.
This is in Oklahoma. So we're not in Alabama or Arkansas by this point. It's creeping over.
Right.
He really was married to his second cousin. I don't know why. They're both adults. But it's not okay.
Did they know before?
And that's what I don't know.
So, okay. So
I like to assume they did.
What I need you to do is I need you to get that information for me, and then we'll have a follow-up podcast.
Circle back around.
And we'll circle back.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that because it's confusing. How many times have you had someone slip and fall?
Into an object?
Into an object.
I mean, I've done it a couple times.
Oh.
Yeah. But let's just get one thing straight and two things gay. So I'm not one to judge.
I'm not.
I just, I think
back
whenever
to the lying, just tell me.
Right, exactly. Just tell me, especially if it's something that could be dangerous.
Please.
There's certain things we need to know. Like if it's like a whole can of hairspray.
The big ones too, not travel size.
If it's something flammable, if it's something that has batteries, if it's something...
A light bulb that's going to bust, you might need surgery.
Right. Like, don't be in denial about it now.
No.
Like, you know what I mean?
You did the damn thing.
Right.
But now you just need to tell us.
You really did. Like, honestly, and I'm the one not to lie to. Because if you're like, I got this whole can of hairspray up my ass, I'd be like,
how?
Congratulations. Firstly. I'm impressed.
Literally, I'm impressed.
Secondly, I need you to spread so we can see like what the situation is and how I can best help you.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm gonna be impressed. First of all, like I'm not gonna judge you.
That's where I'm like, honestly, I don't think they realize how many people would be impressed.
Right.
There's so many more people that are on your side about it.
I'd own it.
I would own it.
I'd own it. Like, I'm not one. I mean, I'm not gonna say I've never shoved anything up there, but I'm not one to. I'm not one that like has some kind of like something to prove.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like what can I put up there?
Right.
But I feel like if I was one of those people, I would I'd be a frequent flyer.
Absolutely.
I'd go into the ER and I'd own it. I'd be like, I'm checking in. They'd know me by name. They'd be like, what'd you shove in there today, Addison? And I'd be like, a box of crayons, bitch.
It's not even round anymore.
Nope.
It doesn't have to be.
No. I'm going to be pooping colors for a week. Yeah.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Every time I wipe, it's going to be like I'm just wiping a marker.
Some Skittles.
Yeah. It's gonna be literally.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, wait. I had one thing. In the car earlier today, you brought up organ donation.
Oh, yeah. We need to talk about it.
We need to talk about it.
It's something I'm passionate about, but not in the way that you would think.
Right. But do you have an example?
Okay. Well, first of all, do you think if someone is not an organ donor, does that make them an asshole or a bad person if they don't want to be an organ donor?
I think that it's more than that. I think they're uneducated to a point where
they don't understand.
They don't get why we need their organs.
That organ donation is not. It's not harvesting. It's not something ugly. It's not something.
We're not going to kill you early.
It's because there's negative stigma about it, and they probably don't understand.
And they don't get it.
Or they might have religious, legit religious or political,
cultural
reasons why they can't.
Besides those.
So I think we were talking about. I think that it should just like why. Or my question is, why isn't it just kind of like a pre-negotiated thing before they go to the hospital that like, if I've already marked organ donor on my driver's license, why do I need to have an awkward conversation after the person is basically like brain dead?
Yeah.
And we're keeping them alive for their organs.
Right.
Like, why do we have to have the awkward conversation with the family at that point?
Right. When it's emotional, when you could have had it before, where it's always emotional when your family is in the hospital, but
right.
if it gets to a point where they're not coming back from it,
Like most of the times, I feel like most people, it doesn't matter if you're Mother Teresa talking to them.
right.
They're going to say no because you waited until the most awkward, volatile, like, point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to ask this person.
Right.
So why isn't it pre-negotiated? First of all, that's my point. Is like, why isn't it pre-negotiated? Why isn't there already an agreement before,
Like
it gets to that point?
Just like you said, like blood. We know immediately, are you going to have blood products or not? If something goes down.
If something goes,
do you want blood products?
Yeah.
If something goes down, can we have your organs for somebody else?
100%. So my question then is to you, would you donate your organs?
Yes.
Is there anything you wouldn't donate? Like any organ you wouldn't donate?
I don't think so. I do think you said something in the car. The eyes, it's a little weird.
I wouldn't want to donate my eyes, but that's just because, have you seen them?
I think you have beautiful eyes.
I know I do.
Yeah.
So
they don't deserve.
Well,
your
actually no. I'd give up my eyes because I'd want to see what these hoes are doing. You know what I mean?
See through it,
I want to see, like, if I'm gonna die, at least I want to
that's
be able to
perfect.
see.
If I die,
the world.
I want my eyes to go to
I
whoever
don't
my
know.
husband ends up with.
I don't know, because actually, the way the world's set up now, I've seen enough.
Maybe you don't need to
I've
see
seen
it.
enough. Maybe I don't
That's
need to
true.
see anymore.
That would just be haunting yourself at that
It's
point.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
So never mind. I'm back to my original stance.
Okay.
No to the eyes, but yes to everything else, pretty much.
Pretty much. And I don't know why no to the eyes. It just freaks me out, I think. But also, like, if I saw someone that really needed eyes, then I'd be like, all right, whatever. I mean, I'm about to be buried in the ground or cremated.
Right. Okay. And so my thing is I don't understand why organ donation then, like, if I'm going to donate something, right? And I'm alive.
Right. Okay.
That changes things.
Okay. So like a kidney.
Yeah. So like if I'm already going to die,
so be it.
Auction off my parts at that point.
Right.
But if I'm alive,
right,
we're not talking about auctioning off a car at that point. Like, I'm not just like giving you a car.
Right.
I think I should be able to put some stipulations in there.
Yeah. Some strings attached.
Yeah. Like, you can borrow my car. But if you act up,
treat it right.
You're going to get snatched up.
Okay.
Like, so in other words, what I'm trying to say is I will donate my kidney to you. Even if you're like, knock on wood. Even if you're, okay, too far.
Sorry.
But no, I will donate my kidney to you. Even if you're like my mom, right?
Okay.
I would donate a kidney, like, to my mom or relative or someone close to me. However, even if it's my mom, if I give you my kidney and you act up in the streets with my kidney, I want it back.
You want it back.
I want
it back. So you want that in writing.
Right. Like, so basically it's like, I think if I'm alive, I would give you my organs.
Okay.
But I think there should be like a takesies backsies clause.
Okay.
Does that make me a bad person? I don't think people have thought about this.
I don't think that's the thing.
I think that I should be able to get the kidney back.
If they are screwing up your kidney.
Right. But then like once I get it back, I probably wouldn't be invited to the funeral.
You probably wouldn't.
Probably.
Does that upset you? Do you want to go to the
funeral? Not
funeral
at that point.
Really
if, like, I mean, honestly, if I was gracious enough to give them something and then they acted up with it,
so be it.
Like, yeah. I'm not gonna say they deserve to die, but they'll just have to find another kidney. But then my other thing is that, like, okay, so say I give a kidney to someone, and then, like, I just feel like we should have conditions around it, because, like, if I give a kidney to someone, like, say I give a kidney, or I don't know why I'm using kidney as an example, but if I gave a kidney to my mom,
right,
and then, God forbid, like, a year later she had a stroke or like ended up like on life support and was brain dead, and they were going to donate her organs again, including my kidney that I gave to her, I'd be up there, I'd be like, hey, So actually, I don't know if we're still under warranty. I don't know. I think I lost my receipt, but could I, get that
Just
back?
the kidney.
Yeah, just
everything else is fair game.
Yeah, I already know we're a match.
I feel like that's something that should be talked about. I really love your consent ahead of time about the organs.
Right.
Maybe some better proper education, because I was reading, I don't know if I told you this. I was reading about women with their placentas. The reason they don't want to let the hospital keep them.
Oh, I'm very passionate about this too.
Is because they think that we sell them to the black market or something. And maybe that's my privilege talking, that I'm very confused where it comes from.
Okay, listen here. I've got a public service announcement. We do not want your placenta.
We don't.
Sometimes we don't even.
No purpose.
Sometimes, if I'm being totally honest, sometimes we don't even want the patient.
At least you're honest.
But we sure as hell don't want the placenta.
All caps. We don't want it.
All caps.
We don't want it.
Could care less. Can
Literally.
we get t-shirts that say we don't want your placenta?
We don't want your placenta.
So if you want your placenta,
you can take it. I don't care if you eat it.
That's fine.
I don't want to eat it.
I'm
It's a whole nother topic. But
I'm not saying, like, I'm not gonna, my care, here's the thing. I'm gonna judge you about it for sure. But
but my care
will not be affected by my personal judgment.
Right.
Because
what good would that do?
Yeah, what good would that do?
Now, do I think it's a strange? A little bit. I mean, I've had a cousin, if you're listening, that took hers home and or got them in capsules. I don't know if she takes it home.
Oh, okay.
Somebody takes it, puts it in capsules, and she takes it. I'm not. That's up to you, and that's fine.
Right. I mean, respect.
I would never do it.
It's a little too complicated.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Yeah.
But I have eaten questionable things or had questionable things in my mouth. So I feel like I can't pass too much judgment.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where if she were to come back to me and be like, have you had questionable things in your mouth? Exactly.
Right. Now,
I can't.
Now, we don't care about what you do with your placenta.
No. But we're not doing anything with it.
What I do care about, I don't know if you care about it, is what you name your baby. Specifically, if...
I'm so
hold on
about this.
Hold on. Let me... Before I get canceled.
Before you get canceled. Please don't.
Fuck all these babies. I'm just kidding. Fuck them kids.
I was about to say,
fuck them kids. I'm just kidding. No. So to be serious, I don't care like what you name the baby. Just don't name it something that is like a medical diagnosis, because it's really confusing when you think about it.
Give me an example.
Diarrhea.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I just had to like get that one out. It was on my chest. It was weighing on me.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's too many babies.
But like
named diarrhea.
I've seen a couple of names that are like literal medical diseases.
Literally. If it rhymes with diarrhea.
And as I'm talking to you now, I realize that there is a thing called Addison's disease. You know what? And I'm nothing but, if not a hypocrite.
At this point.
But however, I wasn't named, like, it also means something else. Like, it's also just cute.
But also Addison's cute.
It's a name.
Spelled diarrhea?
Diarrhea.
It's not cute.
So if it's spelled, and I feel like it's not that I'm judging the name. It's not that I'm judging you. Yeah, you are. I
am judging the name.
It's not that I'm judging. Like, I feel like parents should be able to do what they want. But they're like, I feel like someone has to be like, just how like you have to be an advocate for your patient.
I was just about to ask this.
You have to be an advocate
for the baby.
Like, because the baby is helpless at that point.
They don't know.
You're literally disrespecting them, and they just came out the womb. Like, they had a lot of disrespect probably while they were in there.
Please.
And now they're fresh to this world. What did they do to you? Why are you naming them diarrhea?
We should be allowed to say something respectfully, because I do think sometimes parents just get this like,
everything
tunnel
I'm saying
vision.
I'm being respectful.
Yeah,
I'm not
respectfully.
passing judgment. Like, I mean, you already named your kid Diaria. I mean,
Right.
there's nothing I can do.
It's your
I'm not
thing.
I'm not judging the kid. I'm judging you. But
it's like I feel like they have tunnel vision, and they see it, and it sounds really pretty to them. My friend that's a nurse,
Okay.
a labor and delivery nurse, said that she had a patient name her baby Placenta. Speaking of placentas, she couldn't figure out the name. The nurse was talking about something, brought up the placenta, and she said, "That's it, placenta."
Yeah. And sometimes I think that, and again, like I said, like, no judgment. So here's my thing is that I don't think it's judgmental for us to advocate for the babies. And then also too, there's sometimes like the new mothers. I mean, I don't work labor and delivery, but I'm sure there's a lot of meds that they're given
For sure.
that
And
make
hormones.
them feel really good.
Right.
And I'm sure giving birth is not a cakewalk. I mean, I've had a sister that had 2 boys, had hyperemesis gravidarum, or
That
whatever it's
sounds
called,
awful.
the whole pregnancy. I know that pregnancy and giving birth is not a cakewalk.
Right. That's
However,
why I don't want to do it.
however, I wouldn't want to name a kid after, like, I would want to be completely sober
Right.
if I was going to name a child.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
I'm even okay with these strange names.
I don't think it's judgmental if, like, you say, I'm going to name my kid Placenta. If us to be like, can we just cut down the drip
turn this
first?
down?
Can we turn the medication down for a minute?
Titrate down.
And let's give it 30 minutes. Let's give it a beat.
Yes.
We'll
We'll
circle
come
back.
So we'll circle
I'm going to
back.
leave the birth certificate blank.
We're going to leave it with us too.
Blank.
So you can't write that on there.
Right. And then we'll just, it's
come back.
sometimes it's better to have no name.
Yes. Sleep on it.
Yeah. Sometimes no name is
Best.
best. Yeah.
Especially in this
Yeah.
scenario.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's judgmental to be like, hey, are you sure?
Have you thought about this?
Have you, or if they have no idea what to name the child and they're just
Right.
popping out the
Right.
first thing that comes, to be like, maybe not that. Maybe
we circle back.
Charles is good.
Timothy.
Yeah. Henry.
Earl. It's not the best, but it's not placenta
Yeah.
or Diaria.
Exactly. And that's what I think, like, as nurses, like, I think sometimes being like an advocate or being a little judgmental, well, not, I wouldn't say judgmental,
right.
like a
Has a bad tone to
helpful,
it.
like almost like constructive criticism.
Yes.
Like, I think sometimes that is the best thing for your patient. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
being like completely like non-judgmental and just like not being like a real person,
Right.
It doesn't help them.
No, it doesn't.
And I'm not talking about the name thing. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like,
Overall.
like sometimes you have to talk to your patient like a real person
Mm-hmm.
and like talk to them how you would talk to just like your friend. And sometimes that's more helpful
Yeah, absolutely.
than giving the non-judgmental
Right.
nursing school
Like,
response.
Oh, that's great. Whatever you think. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I feel
agree
like
with
I'm going to
that.
die. And then you're just like,
Great.
why do you feel like you're going to die? Like, sometimes it's better to be like, bitch, you're not dying.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
then like when you're coding them 2 hours later, you can be like,
In hindsight.
this came out of nowhere. Like,
That is one thing. If they start talking about death,
it is true.
it's gonna
It is
happen.
true. I get scared every time, and anytime. So what we're talking about, I know we're kind of being vague, is if a patient comes in, they have like this, it's called impending doom, where patients will come into the hospital, or like they may seem like they're fine like the whole shift, and then randomly they almost get like a panic attack and they'll say, oh, I think I'm dying, or I feel like I'm about to die. And they'll be completely, especially in the ICU where we have literally monitors and things plugged into every orifice that they have,
Literally.
and every appendage. Like, we can monitor every single
Anything.
thing about them. Labs round the clock,
Yes.
crackers and peanut butter round the clock, everything. Like, we're like, you're not dying.
Right.
I just got you 2 strawberry jellos.
Yeah.
And
You're fine.
you just got up and walked and peed. Like,
Yeah.
but, and then they're just like, oh, I feel like I'm going to die. like for a minute there, like you look at every time they say a patient says that, I like stop for a minute and I look at the monitor and I'm like, no, you're stable.
You reevaluate.
But it's like a 50-50 thing where like people know
it's
when they're
it's
about
like their
to
body knows.
like to die. Like they know their body. And they can be completely stable and everything completely fine, and then all of a sudden they just randomly
out of nowhere
code. And I've had that happen with patients, and I'm like, you're fine.
Yes. I think the other side of that is super old people. My 99-year-old Meemaw, and she sees her mother and is talking to her mother. That's another telltale sign.
Oh.
You're going soon.
Yeah.
You're seeing people that are already dead.
They're like, okay, I'll go towards the light.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh.
Girl, grab the crash cart.
Hold on. It's 6:45. It's 6:45.
Shift change.
I'm like, hold on. I'm like, is Meemaw in the room with us right now?
Is she here
And they're
today?
like, yeah. I'm like, hey, Meemaw, if you could give us like 45 minutes, please. I'm done. We were best friends for the whole shift.
12 hours.
I put in so much work.
It's not.
We had such a great night. This is not fair to me.
It's not.
But then at the same time,
rude.
RIP, if this is your time to go, it's your time to go.
Right.
Like I'm not, but.
So another topic I'm going to pull from this is, what do you think about, I asked my audience, what illegal things have you done or seen in the hospital? Have you seen anything illegal?
Okay, the biggest one for me, and I kind of listen.
I'm not judging. We already established this.
I think the biggest thing is just like stealing things. If you're stealing Band-Aids,
okay,
I don't care.
No, I literally don't care.
I don't care. However, there's people that like to steal other things. And I'm not saying all nurses, because I feel like the majority of nurses, great.
Yes.
We know not to steal drugs.
Please.
Okay. But there are those nurses that we know.
We know. I know you are.
We know.
I've seen
and I'm not a snitch.
I ain't no snitch.
I ain't no snitch.
Listen, I'm like, I'm not witnessing shit.
However, Becky, don't come up to me talking about my whiteboards not being filled out. Because I saw what you did in that med room.
I saw it.
I saw it. I pretended I didn't see it.
I like to steal graham crackers and peanut butter.
Oh, okay. So yours was a little less serious than mine.
Mine was less.
Okay. Sorry.
So this is awkward.
Maybe we should like cut out some of the accusations. But
somebody told me that they watched the doctor change the time of death on a patient.
Oh.
So that the numbers looked better. That's kind of weird.
That is a little weird.
It's almost unbelievable, but I believe it happened.
Well, here's the thing. Is like, if you need to change something to the correct time. Like if you realize that you had the wrong time.
Right. That's one thing.
And you were changing it to the correct time so that everything matched, that's fine.
Right.
But just if you realized that, like, just changing it just to change it willy-nilly.
Like they died at 4:19 and he wanted it to be 4:20.
I mean,
respect
I think
the
that's
numbers.
I think that's just a man of taste. But
I'm just saying. I was like, at first I was confused and they told me that. I was like,
my patient died at 3:69. That's not even a real time, but
11:11.
But I'd respect the
I would respect it.
I would respect it.
Like if I saw that, I'm like, okay. My thing is people have weird things with like angel numbers. Have you ever heard that?
No.
I don't have them. But it's on my TikTok about angel numbers. And these numbers are like special to them. They see 1212 all the time. So they're like, what if you fuck up their angel numbers?
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. Now,
it's just strange.
Do you believe in like, we're talking a lot about nursing stuff, but do you believe in charting? When you chart, do you chart the actual time something happened, like in real time?
It depends.
Or do you just chart like, I did all my assessments at 8. I did
this
all
is
of
what
this.
Confuses me about that. That's how I chart, is 8 a.m. 8 a.m., 8 a.m. If one of them goes to court for something, can they say, how were you charting here at 8 a.m. when you were charting here at 8 a.m.? Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, so then my thing to that is that it logs, like you charted it under 8 a.m., right?
Right.
But it logs when you put it in.
Yeah. So it was like 9:15 or something.
Yeah. So it's going to track normally, like, even if you, if you put it in at like 7:30.
Yeah.
But you put it under the 8 o'clock tab, or it's 8:30, but you put it under the 8 o'clock tab. It knows that when you physically were on the computer,
right,
like logging it in.
Right.
So like they're going to know you weren't doing it at the same time.
Right.
Obviously that's crazy. But yeah, I've seen people like go back and forth on that.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I was taught in school.
Yeah.
Was you do it at 8, noon, 4. Sorry. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to chart.
I feel like, I don't want to get canceled for saying this, but I feel like I'm not going to micromanage somebody's documentation.
Oh, hell.
You document how you want to document, and I hope that neither one of us get sued.
Oh.
That's just my thing.
That's my biggest pet peeve.
And some people are like, it's better to overchart. Some people are like, don't chart anything at all. I'm like, you do what you and do what works for you.
Right.
Because my thing is, I'm all about just nobody getting sued.
Please.
Because these hospitals do not care.
No.
They will throw you under the bus.
They do not have your back.
They do not have your back. So if you need to like cover your ass, like CYA.
Right. Cover your ass how you need to.
Do that. My thing is with documentation, this is just my belief. It's like, I don't like to tell on myself.
Right.
Like, so I don't, and when I say that, I mean, like, not that I'm doing anything wrong, but I don't like to over document. Like some people will chart their like assessment, and then they'll rewrite the whole assessment in a care plan.
Yep.
But they might forget some things or leave some things out, or they might chart it or like say something a little bit differently in the thing. And it's like, great on you for going above and beyond. However, you just charted 2 different things.
Can they use that against you?
Right. So I'm going to just stick to just charting the bare minimum over here and not telling on myself.
Right.
Right. So
but
then that way,
I actually chart like that
so
too.
then like for my care plans, I'm just like, see assessment for details.
I hate care plans. No nurse likes care plans.
Yeah. What's a care plan?
What is one?
I don't know.
I haven't looked at them in a long time.
Progressing
Yeah.
to the home.
I'm not gonna lie, it takes me a while to even know where it is in the chart.
Yeah, but we're travelers, so it's like,
yeah,
you have different charting systems and different things, so it's harder to find.
Right.
Sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah.
But even if I knew where it was,
you just pretend you don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my caveat to this, before people try to, cancel us, like, how dare y'all document. I believe in nursing the patient and caring for the patient and not the computer.
Right.
And I feel like there's a lot of nurses, especially ones that over document.
Oh yeah.
That they nurse the hell out of that computer.
That's all they're doing.
And then you walk by their patient's room
and you're like, is Becky okay?
So great job documenting.
Yeah.
First of all, great job. You change that finger probe every 4 hours, girl. But your patient is on the floor.
Did we know that?
So let's fix that real quick. Let me help you.
100%. I'm not a super nurse. I am a super. Wait.
Hold on.
Rephrase it.
Yeah, I think you are.
I'm a super nurse with my patients, but I think I mean like, if the hospital or administration wants me to do X, Y, and Z because we're a family, that's not fucking me. That's not me.
I'm not.
Does that make sense?
I'm helpful.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna. But I'm gonna take care of my patients.
Yes.
And I'll help you if you need help.
Yes.
But I'm not a super nurse. Like, I don't take it as my duty to just be like the morality police and like the like watching over all the other nurses' shoulders, making sure that they're documenting correctly. No, I'm not that. I'm not that. No.
I don't.
If you need help, ask for it.
Right.
And I'll help you.
Right. But I'm not gonna go through your chart and audit it.
But now there are times where like I after like doing CPR, or sometimes after like cleaning up like a really bad code brown.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm a super nurse. I literally did that.
Literally.
I did that.
No one else could do that.
I did that. Patient looks better than when I walked in there. and they just had like Splash Mountain out their butthole.
Oh, it's an unfortunate thing when you hear dripping on the floor and you're like, that's weird.
No, it always starts like whenever you're sitting by the patient's room. Every nurse knows this. You're sitting by the patient's room. And I don't mean that, like, I mean this like figuratively. Some asshole walks by and has to say, "What's that smell?"
Yep.
And you're like,
smell? Shut up.
I didn't smell it. I didn't smell it, but now I do.
Right.
Like, and
every time.
Yeah, or like I was pretending it wasn't. I thought it was me.
I was pretending. I was hoping nobody would smell it because like we're always just so busy.
Yeah, we're always busy, or like you're just like, or something.
It's the worst.
9 times out of 10, I don't smell it. And so then whenever they say or if you're sitting right down by the room, your nose goes not like, and so then if they say like, "What's that smell?" and you're like, "Oh no, not again."
Not again.
Like the 3rd time tonight.
Literally.
So yeah,
it's an unfortunate.
It's always random. I'm never that person. If I walk by and I smell something, I'm just like,
keep on walking.
I'm like, I don't want to help.
No. Okay. This is my other question. If you do need help cleaning your patient,
mm-hmm.
do you ask them which side you want, or are you the wiper? Do you like to be the wiper or the holder when you're cleaning a patient? I know no one likes wiping ass.
That's a trick question.
Well, I'm asking because I'd rather be the wiper because my back fucking hurts.
Amen.
My back hurts. I don't want to hold them.
I think it depends on the patient.
True.
If the patient is helpful.
That's true.
And I don't feel like I'm at any. I'm trying to figure out a politically correct way to say this. If I don't feel like I'm at risk for any type of injury.
Right.
Like if I'm like, this is easy peasy, I'll hold.
Right.
I'll hold. I'll flip.
Absolutely.
I'll, whatever.
Right.
Assist. But yeah, normally I'd just rather be the wiper.
Me too.
Just because I don't want to hurt my back.
It hurts. And like
most
when
of the time
resist,
it already hurts.
It already hurts.
If they push back,
it upsets me really bad.
I don't want to get canceled for talking about our icks.
That is my ick though. Don't push back. You're going to break my back.
But I feel like I have a legit ick.
What is it? Do you want it on here or no?
No, I can. I feel like it's for real.
Okay.
I have I don't know if I'm like undiagnosed, like slightly like autistic or like, you know what?
Okay.
I don't like because one of my pet peeves, even in real life, is like when people like tap me on the shoulder if I'm like talking to somebody, or like touch me, or like grab my arm or something like that to like get my attention. Like I don't like, sometimes I don't like that like physical touch. I'd rather you just say like, "Hey, Addison," or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess not my ick, but like my pet peeve is like when you're trying to turn a patient and you're like, "Hey, grab this side rail, grab this," and they grab you, and I don't know where your hand has been.
No, that's my thing.
Or what's worse is I know where your hand has been.
If you've seen
and you grab me, and sometimes it's like they have long nails that are, you know what, and they straight up grab my skin, and I'm like, well, I guess the gloves were kind of pointless, you know, like, and I don't mean that judgmentally. I just mean that as
but it happens. And it's one of those things where we're like, the rail.
Yeah, and you're like, and you're being as nice as you can, but I'm just like, it's
an unfortunate thing.
Like I'm already cleaning up. Like I would rather literally clean up the poop than
100%.
have like a like claw, or like, you know, like claws, or like hand like touch me, like, and I don't know where your hand's been,
right?
Or like I do know,
or
you know,
do,
yeah,
right?
Like I'd rather just clean up the poop.
100%
at that point, because at least I have gloves on.
I literally think that's why I like being the wiper.
Yeah,
I don't got to worry about any of that on the other side.
Yeah, because sometimes like patients will fight you.
They will.
So, you know, it's literally like
they don't know what's going on sometimes.
Yeah, they don't know. It's not their fault.
Oh my god!
But sometimes it's literally like,
you're gonna hurt me.
Like fighting like a toddler.
Oh yeah, a
like
really strong toddler.
Yeah, a really strong. Like people don't realize this. Like in the ICU, especially with like older adults, they can be intubated and sedated, and like like a lot of sedation.
Yeah,
and they'll still try to fight you when you go to like wipe them.
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's like
that's like the number one way to get an injury. Really,
that's the number one way to like hurt your back.
Yeah.
But then what I will say is I still like love all my patients, and I still like, it doesn't affect my care.
No, it never does.
I still like will clean them up. I'm not saying that like you know, it's not gonna like make me not do something.
No.
But it is like
It's
something
just something we all deal with.
Yeah, that you're just like
real.
mindful of.
Absolutely.
And you're just like, when you go in there, you're like, oh.
And like each time you like clock things in your head that you're like, okay, I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to do this differently, because you already know what's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Nurses are great at planning. And especially when it comes to cleaning up shit.
Oh.
You have to mentally prepare. It's like you're going to war.
Really?
You're in there. You're like, no, like legit. Like we're like literally assembling like the Transformers. we're like, okay, got a code brown. All right, who's gonna be the leg holder? Do we need to gown up for this?
Yep.
What are they on contact for? How many wipes do we need?
Are you prepared?
Do we also need washcloths?
Yes.
Do we need a change of linens?
New chucks?
Do we need a priest? Do we, like, it's literally.
Do we need a priest?
So you have to go through a checklist. And then you know what always happens? Always happens.
What?
Go in the room.
They're not ready.
You forget something.
You always forget something.
You've
got to press the call light because you're knee deep.
I could literally bring the whole supply room in the room with me.
And you don't got it at all.
Go in there. Something's gonna go wrong
every time.
And
then I'm a little embarrassed. Like if it's I'm like, I swear I tried. I tried to have this all together for you, but I didn't.
Yeah, or like you get in there, or like you accident, like you. This happens to me all the time. You're cleaning them up, and you accidentally throw away the new stuff with the old stuff.
Why? And then
I'm like sitting there, and they're like, and then the person helping you is like, so where's the gown? Like, where's this? And I'm like, and then I like see it in the trash can or like see it in the linen hamper. And I'm like,
it was there.
Are you sure you grabbed it?
Yeah. You like play a little manipulation.
I'm like, and they're like, are you gaslighting me over this gown right now? I'm like, no,
never.
I'm gonna just go get a new one real quick.
I'll be right back. You got him?
Can you be real quick? then you go out in the hallway and you're like taking a sip of water. Everybody's like fanning you off. You had like a whole pit crew out there. You're like, okay, I'm going back in. Where's my N95?
Wait, yeah. Where's my N95? Or like alcohol swabs up the nose.
Vicks Vapor Rub.
Every time. I am trying to have each of my guests come up with a question for the next guest. We don't know who the next guest will be, and they will answer your question.
Okay.
It can be nursing related or not, because I'm also interviewing people that are not nurses.
Okay. Do I have a question?
You do have a question.
Oh, okay. Wait, so you're going to ask me a question
I'm going to ask you a question.
The previous person?
Yes.
Okay, and then I have to think of one to ask.
Yes.
Okay, so it's like telephone. Okay.
It is like telephone.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh my God. Well, hello, next guest.
Yes.
My question for the next guest would be...
And I can ask you yours if you want to.
I got to think of something.
See, I forgot to tell you that.
Okay, let me think about it while you ask me.
What is ADHD? They did not know you were the next person.
They did not?
No.
And they just came up with it. What a perfect person.
That's what I'm saying. They knew that you were
What is ADHD? Okay, so in my experience, it's kind of like my my like tagline is because I have severe ADHD. Because I have ADHD that is unmedicated.
Okay.
But I'm also gay.
Okay.
If you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And I tend to get distracted by things that are homosexual in nature. And so if you are somebody that also gets distracted by things that are homosexual in nature and you also have ADHD, you have ADHD.
ADHD.
Yeah.
I love that.
And so that's what happens to me. It's like, I could be literally doing something like, have something really important to do. And, if a Lady Gaga album comes out, got to drop everything. Got to drop everything. And then
she's queen.
Yeah. So that's pretty much like what it means.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Since I also have ADHD. I am medicated, but I don't take my meds because they make me feel like shit and they make me shit.
Right.
I can't stop.
Oh.
Is that normal?
I don't think anything that makes you shit
it's
normal.
Like a stimulant, but I can't take
but like so is coffee. Can you drink coffee?
Yeah. more so than that.
Well, so then...
I mean, it still makes my bowels turn.
Yeah.
But I can't take my meds.
Okay.
I think that's why we get along, though.
I understand. Yeah, I'm just like, you understand my thought process.
I do.
Because I think before the podcast started, we were talking about stuff, and I went on so many tangents. What I call it is spaghetti brain.
Spaghetti brain.
And people with ADHD are the best at it. Yeah, it's called spaghetti brain.
Yes.
And it's where, like, sexist people, like in articles, like if you research spaghetti brain, it's like a sexist thing. People will say like women have spaghetti brain.
Oh.
But like it's I think it's more of like an ADHD thing.
Okay.
Where you can have 10 different conversations, or like you can start 10 different conversations with somebody, and like it just like you keep going down rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole and never really finish the initial conversation. And then once you get to like once you finish like your tangents, you like circle back to the other tangents, and you like loop around, and then like you eventually come back to the main point, and you're like, so like I was saying,
right,
the reason why I am the way that I am is because I'm just fucking crazy. Okay. And like, you know, and then you're like,
but it makes sense.
And you're like, okay, so why did we have to talk about Burger King?
Right.
Like,
where was that?
And it's like, yeah, I don't know why we talked about that, but we got, you know, like.
But it came around at some point.
Yeah, it came around.
Okay.
Yeah, so I call it like spaghetti brain.
I like
it's kind of like the ADHD is kind of the same thing. It's just you talk about more gay things.
Right. I prefer the ADHD.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I'm hungry.
Me too.
Wait,
starving. Do I have to ask a question?
Have you come up with one?
Okay, hold on.
If you can't, it's okay. While you think about it, I'm going to read this and make sure I got everything. I forgot to ask you what your Hogwarts house was.
Oh, my Hogwarts house?
Yeah.
Literally Hufflepuff. I have like a banner right over there.
Okay. I thought it was. Yeah. I'm Slytherin.
It's Hufflepuff, and I love yellow. Yellow is my favorite color, so it's, you know,
well,
Hufflepuff yellow all around.
I love your, what is that called? Not a robe. Is it a robe?
Yeah, it's a robe. It's like a Hogwarts robe.
I need one for
Yeah,
Slytherin.
I'm legit.
You are legit.
Yeah.
I loved Harry Potter, but I didn't give it a chance until like 3 years ago. And I'm upset that I have said that out loud.
Yeah.
But I love it.
I mean,
why did I wait so long? I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah. I've had friends that I've made watch the movies, and like and even after like watching all 7 of them, they're like, I mean, I watched all 7 of them and I don't know how I feel about it. And then I'm like, no, you love it. You watched all 7.
Yeah, literally. You
watched all 7.
You have to.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's my Hogwarts house.
Okay.
What else did we not talk about?
Let's see.
Did we not talk about something?
What would your Patronus be?
Oh.
That's on here too.
I don't know all the Patronuses.
I don't either, really. Well, what would you just make up one?
If I had to make one?
If you could make one. Mine would be a sea lion.
Oh, an otter.
Otter?
I love otters.
They're so cute. They lay on their back with their babies.
If that is one.
It is one. We'll make it one.
Okay.
That's fine. We really touched all the things.
Okay. I think there was something I saw on the list about sounding.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Do we need to talk about that real quick?
We should talk about it real quick because you're the perfect person to talk about it with because I feel so comfortable with you.
Okay. So back to what we were talking about earlier.
And this is the ADHD and the spaghetti brain.
Yeah, the spaghetti brain. So circling back to shoving things up holes that you shouldn't is have you heard of this term?
I need to pause.
Yeah.
We are not kink shaming.
We're not kink shaming.
This is also a health hazard. And which is why I think we should talk about it.
Right. What do you know what sounding is?
I do now, but do you want to explain?
So sounding apparently has nothing to do with actual sound.
With music?
It's
like I thought.
Music, nothing. I was like, someone was like, I got asked one time, like, do you want to sound me? And I was like, I don't own a megaphone. Like, you want me to like yell at you? Like with a megaphone? Like you want me to sound?
Weird.
Like that's what I thought.
Yeah.
No, sounding is when you get a metal instrument normally and you shove it up your urethra. And that causes pleasure. But I think it's more of like a BDSM type of pleasure.
It has to be.
From pain. And I mean, whatever floats your boat and tickles your pickle.
I truly am all about it.
But I'm truly all about it. Like, I mean, if you get...
I think that's fabulous that you're getting off.
I think when people have like these weird like kinks, you know, or non-conventional, I don't mean weird, I mean non-conventional like kinks, I'm like, good for you.
You're right.
Because I'm like
trying out things.
I mean, like, I wish like you know, the people that like I think I saw like a My Strange Addiction where like the person was like in love with like a water slide at a water park, and they would like make love to it. I was like I wish like, good for you. The confidence, and also the way my dating life would be so much easier, and I would be so much happier.
Oh yeah.
If I had some, if I could be in love with a slide, or like was into like sounding or something, like could just like, you know, that if that tickled my pickle enough,
right,
to where I was just happy doing that, I would do it. Like, you know, like I think sign me up. But I think the problem that I have is like, you're into sounding and like you're over here just happy, you know, living your life. I'm over here attracted to men.
Me too.
And so that is just a struggle in itself, and that's all I'm stuck with. So I got, you know.
Right.
So I think maybe it's jealousy. Maybe I'm not kink shaming.
I'm a little jealous.
I'm kink jealous.
I'm a little jealous because to me, so like growing up Christian, girl didn't know what this might be a little weird.
Okay, well, we'll proceed with, knowing that it might get edited out.
It might get, but like not exploring my body. Let me just say that until I was a grown ass adult. So the fact that these people know where their urethra is, I didn't know where that was till I was in nursing school. I didn't know what a wink was.
Well, hold on. Okay, hold the phone.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be sexist, first of all.
We're coming back.
I thought sounding was just typically a male
No, females do it too. I looked it up after you told me about it.
Oh, that must be very difficult.
You got to get a mirror down there.
Guys, easy peasy.
Easy.
I could literally throw a catheter in a dude from across the room.
Yeah.
Females, that shit's hard.
That's what I'm saying.
But and then like you couldn't insert it far, I would think, because the urethra is shorter.
Right.
So how does that feel? You know, like that.
To me, and that's where I am like, ouch. I think but that's where these people get off on pain. They would have to, because there's no way. It's not the pleasure I'm thinking of.
You know what?
To know your body.
You know what? I think these people. You know what I think the problem is? What? If there's a problem with these people,
what?
They took the term "any hole is a goal" and fucking ran with it.
They ran with it.
They ran with it
They're
a
winning.
Little too far. Like, they're winning. Honestly,
they're
I'm jealous.
winning.
Honestly, I'm jealous. But but yeah, not every hole is a goal.
No, not for me.
I don't think so. Not for me.
Not for me.
Not for me. I got maybe 2 holes that are goals.
I got 2 holes that are goals.
After that, I'm capped out.
I'm okay with my urethra. Just leave her. I don't even want a catheter up there.
I don't even want to know. Yeah.
I don't need to see it wink.
Right.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I'm, nose, ears, any other orifices, just why?
Right.
Leave them alone.
Oh, yeah.
No.
But that's your education on sounding today.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad I could help educate
a little
the people.
background. The team, when they heard about sounding, that's going to be editing this, they were like, what?
Yeah. Well, and then
factor.
Well,
it's shocking.
There is some literally it's shocking because it shocks your urethra. It's literally like most of the time it's like not just the metal sound. Like, I don't know if you know this. It's not just they're just putting the rod up there. Sometimes the rod is connected to like vibrational things, or like electrical, that like vibrates it. So it's like almost like shoving like a metal like rod that vibrates up there.
Wow.
So it literally is shocking their urethra.
That is very interesting.
Not shocking. I guess it's not electrical, but it's like vibrating.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I am like squeezing. I don't want that done.
It's rough.
Me. It's a no for me. Safe word.
I'm probably not going to have to pee for the rest of the night.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm scared.
Last question for you.
Okay.
Do you have a safe word, and what is it?
My safe word is keep going.
I love that.
I'm just kidding. It's don't stop.
Don't stop. There we go.
Don't stop believing.
Don't stop, Daddy. Too far. No. Okay.
Not always.
Okay.
Not always. It's in the right situation.
Okay.
I
want to use that word eventually, but I haven't. Because then it sounds fun, and then in the moment I'm like, never mind, it doesn't fit the moment.
Yeah, no, I'm normally just, I don't know.
Did you come up with a question?
I don't want to share too much.
That's fine. You don't have to. That's for the next episode.
Oh, did I come up with a question? Okay.
If you didn't, it's okay.
What is my question? Okay. Well, since we didn't get to cover it, but it's like a similar kind of like what we were talking about.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on, and if you don't know what this term means, look it up, because I know it was popular on TikTok for a while and I fell down the rabbit hole.
Oh, God.
What are your thoughts on soaking?
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
And do you know what that is?
I don't. Can you tell me?
I'll tell you like a little bit on here just to give a warning.
Okay.
Soaking is popular in certain, I don't want to like spread misinformation.
Okay.
But it's popular in certain religions where abstinence is very important.
Okay.
And soaking is their way around having sex without really having sex. Where basically, essentially, what will happen is you penetrate and you lie on top of each other. But from what I understand,
a Mormon thing?
I think it's. I
feel like
it's popular.
this.
I just didn't want to I didn't want to single anyone out.
Okay.
I'm not judging.
Okay.
Gosh, girl.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
But but no, I think it's like certain religions. They will penetrate. Like the guy will penetrate the girl, or guy penetrating the guy. No judgment. Hey, gay rights. But they consider like a sexual act as like not just the penetration, but like the movement.
Oh.
And like if you're like basically making yourself ejaculate or climax.
Okay.
And so their way of getting around that is they'll just penetrate and not move, lay on top of each other, and then have a buddy or a friend like jump up and down like in the bed of a truck, on like a bunk bed, or like they'll
help move.
To help do the movement. So basically their friends doing all the work.
Oh my God.
And it's like, because they think that if they were to do it and have premarital sex, then they're going to hell.
See, that's just a
and
whole
I'm like,
topic.
in my experience, that's a threesome.
Absolutely.
That's a threesome. You're kinkier than I am.
Right.
First of all,
let's
get one thing straight and two things gay. You're kinkier than I am. And you think I'm going to hell?
There's some
I don't know. That's kinkier
happening.
than just regular sex to me.
100%.
That's just my opinion.
100%.
But I want to know what the next guest's thoughts are.
Okay.
On that.
I like that.
Okay.
And on that, we're gonna leave and go get food.
Yeah, because we're starving. You had a day at the airport.
I had a day at the airport. I had coffee.
We'll just leave it at that
We'll
because we don't even need to revisit or unpack that situation.
No. Thank you for being on my show.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for flying here and dealing with the mess that you had to deal with today, and then still toughing it out to do the podcast. You're a trooper. She's a trooper. She's amazing.
Beginner, but a trooper.
Still
figuring it out.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Put that on my grave.
Okay. Bye, guys.
All right, bye.